Hi guys, good morning and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Mandy and you can find me on the internet as Mandy Von Knits, both on Instagram and Ravelry. And this is my knitting podcast where I come to talk to you about both knitting and crochet, basically all of the crafty things that I get onto throughout the week. I am a 39-year-old woman from southeastern Michigan and I live here with my son and my daughter and my husband. I have been knitting for quite a while now. I would say about 9 years and crocheting for about 13, 14. So I am constantly doing both. I consider them my hobby, my main focus hobby, I guess you would say. So if I'm not working or spending time with my family, I am crocheting or knitting. That's just one of those things that make my heart happy. So anyway, if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, please stick around. I would love to have you and hear from you. One of the reasons that I love having this podcast is that I am a paraplegic, so I am wheelchair bound, which makes it kind of hard to get out and kind of meet other people in the fiber community. So I really do appreciate this podcast as a way to be able to do that. Anyways, let me go into admin first. Before I forget, I do have a list in front of me, so I'm hoping that I don't forget everything that I have to talk about today. I have quite a bit. So first off, admin. So for this podcast, I give away a pattern every week. So the way that you enter is you just have to leave a comment down below. And the next week I will use a random YouTube comment picker to just pick a comment, and I will put it up on the podcast for next week. And then if it's your name, you can just reach out to me on either Ravelry or Instagram as Mandy Von Knits and let me know what pattern you want, and I will gift that to you. If you don't use Ravelry, let me know, and I'm hoping that we can figure out a way to get the pattern to you otherwise. It hasn't come up yet, but if it does, I want to make sure that it's accessible to everybody. So we can maybe Etsy or something like that. So just let me know. Anyways, let me talk about the rules because I kind of forget about it. So you can only win once a month, just to make it fair for everybody. If I draw your name more than once a month, I'm gonna draw another one. Just because I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to get a win for the pattern. And then the pattern just has to be under $15. So I think those are the two main rules. Other than if you want to try to win, just leave a comment down below. I am going to leave a blank spot right here. And that will show you who won the pattern from last week. And if that was you, like I said, just reach out on either Instagram or Ravelry and let me know what pattern that you want. I think that's it, right? Other than to enter for this week, just leave a comment down below. So, okay. Last week, this whole last 2 weeks has been kind of a rush everywhere. My in-laws were visiting, so it kind of made everything all jumbled up. It seems like the last 2 weeks have kind of melded together. So first of all, let me talk about what I'm wearing before I forget, because I will forget. This is my Hipster top, and this pattern is from Hohi Locatelli. And I knit it out of fiber Optic yarn, and I use the colors, I'm not going to say lavender, even though I keep trying to. I use the colors violet, ultraviolet, and electric purple. So I used their Kashmir base, which was their MCN base. It was merino, cashmere, nylon. And I really do like how this came out. As you can see, I am wearing a tank top underneath it because it dips down low for me, so I can't do it without the tank top. But I like how it looks with it. I could move it up a little bit and it would be less noticeable dip down, but it's fine. I really, even if it didn't dip down as much, I wear a knit, for all of my knits, no matter what they are, no matter like the gauge, like even if it's, you can't see through it at all, I always wear a tank top underneath my knits. I think that, with all of my health issues, well, to be fair, I did this before, but now I have an even more tangible excuse. With all of my health issues, I have to wear an abdominal binder to support my back, and it just makes it a little bit easier to wear a tank top underneath my clothes. So I have something between my knitwear and the abdominal binder because it has a Velcro and it makes me nervous. And I mean, knitting Velcro, no. Okay, but anyway, this is the Hipster top and I really do like how it came out. I modified the pattern to have these crosses on the hem. They're also up here, but this isn't a modification. This is actually how the pattern was. I'm trying to like show you without yanking the entire top and stretching the knitting, but that's it. They're up there. I went so from my underarm to down to the hem, it's exactly 12 inches. On Hohi's pattern for my size, it was 12.5. But her hem is I think it was a 1/2 inch and mine was an inch because I changed my hem. I think she did garter stitch for hers, but I added those crosses instead. So mine turned out to be a 1/2 inch. So I went a little bit shorter, but the hem at the bottom made up for it. So all in all, it's the same length. It's just different parts are longer on mine than hers. But other than that, I really do like it. I think it came out cute for kind of a summer top. One thing I was worried about was when you knit it, you do an I-cord. Yes, you do an I-cord for the, I'm trying to think of how to explain this. It's kind of an I-cord as you go, so you're slipping stitches and they're rolling. It's not an applied I-cord, it's kind of I-cord edging as you go. And it's around the V-neck and then at the back here, and you can't really see, but the back neck is left unfinished, which kind of bothers me, and it rolls a little bit, but I think I'm going to leave it as it is because I do like it and I don't think it's that big of a deal when I'm wearing it. I thought it would bother me more than it does, so I might end up revisiting it, but I'm not sure what I would do at that edge. Maybe I could add a crochet slip stitch line, or I mean, you're not going to add ribbing because it would look weird. Maybe an applied I-cord at the back, that could work. It wouldn't stop it from rolling, but it might make it look more finished. I'm sorry. I am brainstorming in live action, I am brainstorming live here, so it is what it is. Okay, anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Hipster top. It was a very fun knit and very fast, and I think it's very cute for the summer. So I'm glad I decided to pick it. I kind of wish I would have waited until the Hohi Locatelli make-along, which is coming up very soon here. I believe it starts September 1st. The deadline to sign up is, when is it? August 30th, I think. That sounds right. I signed up for, I think, everything I might have an inkling to work on yesterday. So if you do want to participate and you haven't yet, please sign up, because if you don't sign up, you aren't eligible for prizes, and that's just the way that it goes. I will put up a link right here, so that way if you want to go to her Ravelry group and check it out, the link that I put up will be a Ravelry group. It will be a link to the discussion forum in her Ravelry group that talks about the Hohi Locatelli make-along. Knit-along. Why do I keep... Well... Make-along. Yeah, I guess. It's a knit-along, but it's also a make-along. Anyways. Okay, I have an interesting amount of stuff to show you. So, like I said, my in-laws were here, and generally when we have visitors or we're going somewhere, it's a lot easier to work on smaller projects. I'm sure that you guys can relate. Whenever somebody's visiting you or you're going out to like a restaurant or something, you're not bringing big projects, right? It's not just me. You're bringing like hats or socks or stuff you can kind of throw in a bag and not bring out unless you have a spare minute. So I have been working on, and I showed you this one yesterday, or not yesterday. Geez, I showed you this last week. This is a Musselburgh that I did. So this yarn, first off, I guess I should start and say that this is the Musselburgh by Ysolda Teague. This is an amazing hat, and I love knitting it. The pattern will give you directions for any gauge. You can basically use any yarn that you want. And you can also style it. You could add color work. You could add half in one color, half another color. You could add different stitches. It's just basically a perfect blank canvas hat. So I think that's why I like it a lot. This fade right here is done from a hat called the Quick Ombré hat. And I've made this hat a million times, and it's such a cute it has a color work chart that has color work transitions from one color to another color, and there are 3 different charts. One is a longer transition, one is a medium, and one is a short, and they're all great. I'm sure that by now I've done them all. I've made quite a bit of these Quick Ombré hats. So this is how the hat looks on one side, and on the other side right here. And I think that's pretty cute. You could roll it up and just all sorts of fun things to do with the Musselburgh. Now, this pink yarn was yarn that I got for my birthday from my Aunt Jackie. She recently visited Seattle, and it was Lyrical fibers. And the yarn was called Girls Just Want to Have Fun, the colorway. So I thought that's beautiful. It's a great color. And then this color that I found to match it is, I know that it's Junkyarn, and I believe that the color is Retro Barbie, something like that. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll put it down below. it has something to do with Barbie and retro. So I will watch last week's episode because I think I threw out the tag and correct myself if I'm wrong. But this hat is really good. I do love these Musselburghs. And I'm going to mess up my hair. I like this one. I've got a clip on, so it is what it is. But I really do like them. They're perfect. And depending on how long you actually knit the body of the hat, you can have double brim, like well, it's more like a quadruple brim because it's folded over and double layered, but depending on how like long you make it, you can have quite a bit of protection in the winter, which is especially good here in Michigan because it can get kind of cold. So this is the second Musselburgh that I finished, and you guys have seen this one before. I actually cast this on ages ago because I was supposed to have a surgery, and then I ended up not having a surgery, but I had cast on a bunch of hats just to be able to knit in the hospital. And I think this was one of them. I'm pretty sure, yeah. This is a color from Mousewitch yarns, and I think that it came out so pretty. I finished the one that I had made my daughter out of Mousewitch yarns. It was a pink one, so now she has pink and I have purple here. But let me take this one out and see. You can make the length. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter. I guess it just depends on whatever you feel like doing. There are lengths in the pattern for each size. I follow the lengths, and then sometimes I will make it shorter than it wants or longer than it wants. Or sometimes if I'm using fingering weight yarn, I will knit up until I have like 12 grams of yarn left and then start knitting the decreases. So sometimes I end up using almost the entire cake. It really just depends. For this one, let's see how this one fits. This one's a little bit bigger than the other one. But I love this hat. I really wish I had a bunch of people to give these away to because I love making them, and I'm kind of like running out of people to give them to because here's another one. This is Always Be Kind yarn in Rainbows After Midnight, and I think this is cute. This is the third one. This one looks kind of longer. I don't think it is though. I think it's exactly the same size as the purple one. But I did not knit any of these as the entire skein because I had a thought, right? So what do you need with a hat? You need mitts. So I've got this hat and I made these, and I'm gonna put them on because otherwise it's gonna look kind of weird here. So this is the mitt pattern that I picked, and I think they're cute. They do not match. They are not perfect matches because I got a Musselburgh and mitts out of them, right? So they kind of are close, but not. I wasn't going to worry about it. I thought these mitts were cute. As we were driving back from Ohio, because we went to a water park there, as we were driving back, I was looking through Ravelry and looking for a mitt pattern. I wasn't driving, obviously. I was a passenger. And I found this pattern that was called the Pioneer Gloves. And I can't remember who wrote it, so I'm going to put up all of the information like I always do. And the pattern was really good. And the thing I liked most about the pattern was its ribbing, so it's really easy to kind of fit a bunch of people. Like, these fit my son too, and my daughter can wear them, so it turned out really good. And it's just nice ribbing, just pretty simple mitts, and that's pretty much it. And now I'm all ready for winter here, kind of. I love it. The rainbow, like the rainbow yarn and like the black, it's just so happy. It's just very happy. I love it. Okay, that's what I've been working on. It's been like a very scattered kind of week for the last 2 weeks. I didn't mention this, but these are done in fingering weight. So both this, all of the Musselburghs that I showed you were all done in fingering weight yarn. And these were also fingering weight. I really do like making the Musselburghs in fingering weight. I think that it's a good weight for the hat. And they take longer, but I think that they're pretty comfortable, and I just like the fabric that I get from it. These mitts didn't take me a very long time, and I was very pleased with how the pattern came out, especially for like, these are probably the second pair of mitts I've ever done. Which seems weird. I think the first pair of, well, no, this is the third pair of mitts I've done. I've done the simple mittens from Tin Can Knits. I've done these, and I've also done a pair of colorwork fingerless mitts. The colorwork ones that I have done had like an orange cat on them, or maybe a tiger, something like that. But that was a long time ago. My son had really wanted me to make him a pair of fingerless mitts with a cat on it. So both of my kids and I really love cats, in case you haven't noticed yet. But anyways, for a third pair of mitts, this was a really nice pattern. I thought that it was easy to understand, and it was a good experience. I will be taking the rest of the yarn that I have from here and the yarn that I have from here and probably making some more mitts with them. But what else should I talk about? So I am now done with the sweater whips that I had, with the hat whips that I had. The only work in progress that I have, besides the one I'm going to show you right now, is a bunch of granny squares. And I still haven't kind of gathered up enough courage to tackle those. I think I have over 100, 170, something around there, somewhere around there anyways. I haven't gathered enough courage to tackle them because they're just squares, they're not attached. Next time I do a blanket, I am going to be attaching them as I go. But that's neither here nor there. I finally cast on for my Voyage cardigan, and this is a pattern by Woolen Pine, and I am showing you the information on the screen, and hopefully I can show you. Oh, come on. I am not good at using paper today. Okay, it doesn't matter because it's going to be a black and white picture anyway. So pay attention to the pictures that I'm showing you on the screen. It's going to look better. So this is a cardigan from Wool and Pine, and it is an all-over colorwork cardigan. It is done in fingering weight yarn. It is knit all in the round, and then it is steeked. It is steeked because it's a cardigan, so it's steeked down the front, and also the armholes are steeked. So this is going to be a new experience for me because I've never steeked before, and I've definitely never done any armhole steeks. And I'm nervous, but I am going to give it a good try. So this cardigan is not all over color work. It's just the body. The arms and the ribbing are just one color. So this is going to be my ribbing color. And this is a color from Blackbird Sycamore yarns. And I believe that this is called Antique. But if it is not called Antique, the correct colorway name is down below. Because I seem to have problems remembering colorway names. But this is what I have so far, and I am just getting ready to join the ribbing. Because you knit the ribbing flat, and then once the ribbing is done, you join it together with your sticks, or your steek stitches, and then connect it in the round, and then you start the color work. So that is how it looks knit up. And I'm trying to pull out some of the yarn that I have to show you without crinkling. Sorry, it's gonna crinkle for a minute. Okay, so this, I hate that noise. Okay, I'm going to be quiet for a second while I open this bag, and then editing, I'm gonna take out the crinkling. So 1 second. Okay, so this is the yarn I am going to use for the body. The body background or foreground, depending on how I feel. But basically, this yarn is going to be yarn that I carry throughout the body with the color work. This is Blackbird Sycamore yarn. And the colorway is Mandy's Magenta. I asked her if she could dye a magenta color, and she sent this. So I think that it's going to work very well. Because, look, this is the ribbon color, and then this is one example of some of the color work pinks that I have. I have an advent calendar from Suburban Stitcher from last year that's all pink, all pinks. So, and a lot of the pinks are very light colored. So I had originally started this a little bit ago, and now I originally started it and noticed that I couldn't just use this because do you see how not contrasting they are? And that's when I reached out to Stephanie from Blackbird Sycamore Yarn and asked her if she could dye a magenta color. So as you can see, the contrast is a lot better. But I have been looking forward to knitting the Voyage cardigan for forever. So that is going to be my main focus for a little bit. Along with the Kiviot pattern that I showed you from my birthday yarn. I'm going to be casting that on as well this week. That is basically a cowl with lace and beads. So those two patterns are going to be my focus. I'm pretty nervous about the steeking. I'm going to be using a crochet steek with reinforced hand sewn seams, I think. Woolen Pine does the pattern, and they have all sorts of video tutorials about the steeking. So one of them is crochet steek, so I'm going to be watching that and seeing what they recommend, and then just working from there. I'm sure I can do it, but I'll just take my time and kind of do it one step at a time. I feel like whenever you have something that's overwhelming, and this goes for everything, whenever you have something that's overwhelming, if you just take it one step at a time, it goes a lot better. Okay. Now, I told you guys, and hang on, I'm sorry, crinkling again, because I need to move the Voyage yarn over. So I told you guys we went to Ohio. We went 2 hours away, and I ran across, first of all, I guess I should start from the beginning. My in-laws were here, so they said that it was okay if my husband and I went to a yarn store for a little bit. We don't really get, well, I should say I don't get an opportunity to go to yarn stores without our kids, so it was a very fun experience for me. And we found River Colors Studio, and I'm going to show you the logo. And I wonder if there's a card in here that will probably show the logo much better. No. My husband has it. Okay, sorry. Anyways, when we went to River Colors Studio, they had this sample of this top. And I'm going to show it to you because I thought it was really pretty. This is called Inlet. It is by Yumiko Alexander. And it is, so I'm showing you pictures over the black and white that I'm showing you. So, what am I trying to say? This is made from very interesting yarn, and I had to, once I saw the pattern and I saw the sample, I had to get some yarn because I want to make this. So this yarn is called DanDoh Cotton Fine. So it is 100% cotton. It is 435 yards for 50 grams. So that is very, very thin. So these are the two colors that I got. We've got pinks, right? I mean, of course. So this only needed 2 of each. So how do I explain how this is made? So you have a main color and you use the main color throughout the whole top. But I'll read what they wrote because I think that it's going to make more sense than me. To make an interesting texture without being complicated, some sections are worked with 2 strands of yarn held together, and some sections are worked with only 1 strand. The top is worked with 2 colors. The main color is used throughout. The contrast color is used only in sections where 2 strands of yarn are held together. So, if you take a look at the photos that I put up, you can tell that there are stripes in this top. And where the fabric is thicker, the two colors are held together, and where it's thinner, the contrasting color is dropped off. I'm pretty sure this is going to be my contrasting color because I always like the darker color, like the more magenta-y color pinks. So, but I thought that would be really fun to make. The yarn weight is considered sport because it says 2 light fingering yarns held together, and the gauge is 22 stitches and 28 rows for 4 inches in stockinette. So the needle size that you use is 4.5, which sounds crazy because that's a big needle for sport weight. But this is definitely something that's going to be coming up in the pipeline here. Probably pretty quickly because last night I got out the yarn that I need to have to make my kids Christmas sweaters. Can you believe I'm saying Christmas sweaters? So I pulled out those and I'm thinking, okay, I have the Hohi Locatelli knit along, I have this inlet top, and then Christmas sweaters, and it's just so much. Sometimes I wish I didn't find so many awesome patterns, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, basically it is what it is. So another thing that I got from River Colors is this. And this is Feederbrook Farms Entropy DK. It is blue-faced Leicester wool and the colorway is Kelvin. It's 260 yards, hand-dyed, made in USA, hand wash only. So the reason that I got this was because a little bit ago I was talking about spin cycle alternatives, and this to me looks like one. But so how many, is this 100 grams? Yeah, it would have to be because it's 260 yards and it's DK. So this is $30 for 100 grams. And I'm pretty sure that spin cycle comes in 50 grams. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that you get 50 gram skeins for spin cycle. I don't know offhand because I was looking, they had some spin cycle there, but I could only find like a bulky version. And I'm like, well, that's nice, but I would want it for like color work in a sweat, like a yoke instead of, and I'm not going to do a bulky sweater. I do get cold, but I think that a bulky sweater would kind of aggravate me. I think that those colors are pretty. Ironically enough, I kind of want to use this to make a hat. Maybe even a couple colorwork hats. What does Andrea Mowry have in hat patterns with spin cycle? I'm trying to remember. So the night shift is the cowl. There's Shifty. She has a hat, right? With this? I can't remember. Do you need 2 different colors? Probably, right? Anyways, what I might do is I have an Andrea Mowry pattern for my daughter that has, I think it's olive and bean, maybe. I'll put it, it's right here. It's a colorwork yoke, but it's hearts, and maybe I'll use this for that. Okay, so I wanted to share this because, like I said, I had just mentioned kind of spin cycle alternatives. I'm off to the next pattern that I ran across. And I actually don't have many patterns today, but I am going to show you a couple of things that I found on the internet. So this is the second pattern that I'm going to show you. This is Granny Style Cardigan, and this is by MJ Off the Hooks Designs. And if you haven't looked at her any of her patterns really, they are all so cute. And when I was looking at them yesterday, she came up on my Ravelry, what is it called? Pattern highlights, and it was a different pattern, but I started looking at her patterns and I ran across this one and really liked it. I think it's cute, and I should take the granny squares that I have for my blanket and turn them into a cardigan. It would be so much easier to put together, but the problem is, how many squares would you need for this? Because I have like over 100. So how many cardigans would that make? Let's see. The yarn weight here is sport, and the hook size is 4. The sizes available are extra small to 5X, which is a really good size range. And I wonder, you know what? If you take a look at her patterns, she even has a little crochet, like a crochet stocking that's really cute. But I wonder if I could take all of those granny squares and make like cardigans for all the people. I could make one for my daughter. Maybe I could make one for my mom and me. I'm not going to do that. They have to be a blanket. It's just, it is what it is. It says, made from a classic granny square with a simple edging and optional ribbed collar and band. So let's look at the ribbed collar. I don't know if you can see it right there. But I do like how it looks. I have heard good things about her patterns. I have not done any yet, but it says with a video tutorial available on our YouTube channel featuring the thumb join technique for changing colors and the flat slip stitch join method for seaming the granny squares. Ooh, maybe I should take a look at that to see if there are any tips on how to join my granny squares, because I mean, whether you're joining them for a cardigan or a blanket, it's all pretty much the same idea, right? Okay, I'm trying to find the last pattern that I have, because that will make it a little bit easier just to show you all the patterns at once. This one, I believe, came out yesterday. I believe it was, if it wasn't yesterday, it was like recently, very recently. So this is called Cascade by Rhea Janice Kaufman. And this is a fingering weight tank top, and the needle size is 3.25 millimeters and then 2.75. So this is just a tank top, and it has some lace down at the bottom. And you're not, well, you can kind of see it. You're seeing it better with pictures superimposed, I guess you could say, anyways. And you can kind of see where the lace goes, and then the schematics for the tank top. Now, the sizes available are 28 to 62 inches, or 71 to 157 centimeters. Oh, that's interesting. So this is the suggested yarn for this is Earth Unique Fingering. And I actually have some of that, but I have some of that from, it comes in boxes. Yeah, it comes in a box, and it's 2 different skeins wound up, and they're perfect matching. I think that's Earth Unique Fingering. I know that it's sock yarn as well, but I think that that's what it is. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. I've never done anything from this designer, but I thought when I saw this tank top pop up that it would be a good, you know, I do wear tank tops a lot, especially under my knitting, but I thought that a tank top and lace, it's a cute combination. The gauge is 24 stitches by 32 rows, which is pretty standard for fingering weight yarn. It does say it's bottom up, which is interesting. I guess that makes sense though. When you're working a tank top, you kind of work bottom up and then you split the front and the back, and you can, depending on if it's like a V-neck or a, depending on what you're doing at the top there. But those are the only patterns that I have for this week. Now, I am a big fan of, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I love Etsy, right? And I keep seeing these earrings, and I figured I was going to show you guys these earrings because I'm not going to buy them because I don't wear earrings. I don't wear earrings enough to buy these, and I wish I did because they're so cute. So these are from Dash of Japan, and I'm pretty sure the picture that I'm showing you is going to be the pink earrings, but make no mistake, Dash of Japan has these earrings in 100, like all the colors, blue, pink, red, black, just all of them. And they're cute little cats, and they're made with like, they basically look like they're threaded like yarn balls. They also, instead of the cats with the bodies, they also just have cat heads, which is also really cute. But like I said, I don't wear earrings. I thought that I've shown these to my husband and I've said, oh, these are adorable. He doesn't get it. I figured if I shared them with you guys would get it. So I hope you get it. The reason that I wanted to show them to you, they keep popping up like when I'm looking at Instagram and stuff, and then the Etsy like advertisements will pop up. It will just show those earrings, and it's basically because I look at them. They have like a light pink and a teal, and then more of a magenta color and black and blue, and just all of them. Now the other thing that I'm going to show you, and I did order this because I thought it was really cute, and I'm putting up a link of where I got it from, but I'm also going to show you a picture. I do have it, but I didn't grab it for the podcast, so I'll try to remember to show you guys next week. But this is a cat ruler keychain. That's how they describe it. But it's basically like just a cat swatch No, what am I trying to say? A cat ruler keychain. That's why they called it that, because those are the best words for it. But I thought that this was really cute. I got this from Darn It Anyways website, and the link that I'm showing you will go there. But I'm a big fan of cats, if you couldn't tell by the earrings. I'm still trying to come up with a different word for it. The cat gauge measurer, I'm going to be difficult here, is 2 inches. So it's 2 inches right there. And it's just an easy way to tell whether or not your swatch is on gauge or not. And in some cases, you know what, with this right here, it's going to be very easy to kind of clip it onto a bag. So that's why I got it. Not just because I love cats, but because I needed another one, because I always need them, because I always misplace them. I can only find like none of the tape measures that I have when I need them. So let's just leave it at that. I think that that is everything that I have to say for this episode. If you've managed to bear with me, because I have been babbling quite a bit, especially towards the end, trying to make up new words, I appreciate it. I forgot to mention at the beginning that I have sent out the physical prizes for the birthday giveaway. So if you had reached out to me, I messaged you back and gave you your tracking numbers. So hopefully it will get to you guys soon. And like I said, if I pulled your name earlier in the episode, please reach out to me on either Ravelry or Instagram as Mandy Von Knits and let me know what pattern that you want. If you would like to enter this week's giveaway, just leave a comment down below. I think that's it for this week. I'm not going to talk about life because there's really, really nothing going on. My kids are starting school this week and it's going to be like a super chaotic week. So I don't even want to think about what's going on. They're not ready to start waking up early. Does anybody else have kids? And are your kids not ready to start school either? Because I'm starting to feel like the only one here. Well, to be fair, our in-laws were visiting, so it was not getting them on schedule last week was just not going to happen. I didn't want to be like, okay, kiddos, you have to go to bed super early. I know your grandparents are here and you really want to spend time with them, but I don't, just go to bed. I'm not going to do that. So it is what it is. Next week will be a struggle for us all. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Okay, guys, I hope that you are having an amazing week, and I hope that everything is going well in your life. If you could, please give this video a thumbs up or hit the subscribe button. I would super appreciate it, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!